Hi there viewers, I'm the Extraordinary Tourist, and as you can see I didn't record an intro video to this with me speaking to camera. I just went straight into the time-lapse of me painting the final artwork. So in this particular episode of this series where I'm showing you a painting going from sketch to finished artwork, I pretty much spend this just finishing off the background on the painting, painting the edges, and then putting some final details onto the character's face. So I'll just leave you to sort of watch that all take place and then get back to you with my recorded bit at the end of the video, where I sort of finish up, and then you get a bonus section where I actually have this painting finished and on a skateboard, which is where it was always heading. So I'll leave you with that. Enjoy! So there you go, I'm going to call that finished now. I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There's always areas, of course, that I personally think I could improve upon, but overall I'm happy with the results. So I hope you've enjoyed following along with me as I've created this piece of artwork, and I hope you'll look out for it on my website and probably in my website store or wherever else I decide to post it. So you've been watching me create this artwork here, going from the initial drawing right through to the finished artwork. And this particular artwork was always intended to be the graphic on the bottom of a skateboard, and through the not so magic medium of video and me taking many weeks to release this series of videos, we now have the finished artwork on a skateboard deck. So that is an actual skateboard deck with my artwork printed on it. And what you'll notice straight away is that there is quite a noticeable colour difference between this graphic and the original artwork. Some of that is definitely deliberate, and some of it is a result of simply photographing the image in the particular light that I used, and the fact that my monitors aren't really correctly calibrated to match real world colouring like this. But having said that, the colour scheme on here, you'll notice, is a little bit brighter than the original artwork, and I think that really helps the piece on the finished product anyway. I particularly like the fact that you can see more blue in his hat, character's face, like the brown that's used for his face is more of a reddish brown, much brighter than this brown here. The yellow is much brighter. The clothing, instead of being sort of this more grey colour, has got a bit of a blue tint through it. And the background, as you can tell, is obviously much brighter, but that is definitely by design, because when I got this onto the computer, I completely removed this background from the artwork, because if you've been following the series, you'll know that at the time I painted that background, I wasn't particularly happy with it. And I think I even mentioned right at the beginning I was thinking more of a maroon colour than a brown, which is what this colour is, more along the lines of what I was thinking. But for some reason I just couldn't mix a colour that was along the lines of what I had in my head at the time. But as you can see, once you get into the digital area with your artworks, it really doesn't matter if the original artwork isn't quite what you wanted. You can always get in there and correct it. The other thing you'll notice about this is this graphic is actually called a full color printed design graphic, and what that means is that the graphic is printed onto a white skateboard deck, one that already has a white surface that's been either painted or laminated onto the deck, rather than this wood grain surface which you can have decks printed directly onto that surface, and what you'll get is a translucent effect and the wood grain will show through. But with the full colour decks with the white surface, you can pretty much print anything on those, and your whites, as you can see in my signature here, will come out white with no hint of the wood grain coming through. So what I did with my background after removing that, I put a more maroon colour background, and if I'd have left it at that, it would have come out as very flat sort of single colour, and it wouldn't have been quite as interesting to look at. So what I did was digitally I put through it a canvas texture to match the canvas texture that the actual artwork had. And in doing that, what it's done to the finished result, you won't be able to see this very well on camera, but in person, looking at this, it's made all this colour have a sort of feel like it is actual wood grain showing through rather than looking canvassy. And it's also created some interesting highlights in here as well, that's sort of giving this a much more interesting look to it than had that being flat colour, and I'm really happy with how that looks. It actually looks a lot better than I could have hoped. Even just looking at that on my computer screen, it didn't look anywhere near as good as how that has printed up. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, and you've now seen the full process of taking an artwork from initial concept and sketch through to artwork and getting it onto a product. If you actually like this design and wouldn't mind owning it or giving a skateboard gift to someone with this design on it, you can actually purchase this in my skateboard shop, and I'll put a link in the video's description for that if you want to check it out. There is actually another design, another skateboard design with this character on it, but it's just the character's face and he fills more of the bottom half of the board. So if you want to check that out, click on the links and have a look. So there you go, that's my whole process. I hope you've enjoyed watching this series, and until next time, we shall see you later. Bye for now.